How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to some, beginner tutorials. If you're trying to get into a new character, I figured I'd kind of just lay it out, that way you don't have to come into training on your own. Now, I did kind of change up the area. I realized with all the other videos, I was kind of just, clicking right through, trying to get to the video portion as fast as I can. So I do apologize. From here on out, we're going to kind of try to mix it up. So I'm going to try at least. So going into this, Kensei's got quite a few really good moves. He does have a triple light, which does do pretty good damage. He does have the double light, leads into the unblockable. He also has a double light chain as well. His heavy attack on the initial heavy will not have armor. The second will not as well, but the third one will. Same as his third strike also will have the unblockable property from a top position. His light attack on the third one will also have armor, so if you chose to do two heavies and then end it with a light, that will also have armor. And just like many of the other characters we've talked about, he does have his heavy, light as well. He also has a heavy, light, heavy. So you can kind of mix him up, based on what you're looking for, which makes him pretty good. He's got a good mix-up game. So getting into some of the fun stuff. When you're at a distance, most people are going to be holding top, mainly because he has this. It is a fast light attack, helm splitter. It's a little bit difficult to parry, but on reaction, some people can. He also has a heavy attack that he could send out that does 3 extra damage. Now, these attacks not only are quick, but will immediately go into the chain finisher if you land them, meaning both of them can go into the final move. Now, when they go into the final move, you'll have some options. And while we're on the topic, his dodge attack will hit on the opposite side of which he dodges. So this one would hit on the right side, this will hit on the left side. So it's just opposite in direction that he is dodging. So with that being said, this will also go into his finishing swing. The unblockable will do 45 damage, pretty strong. Now, what you can do with this is pretty simple here. You are going to be able to, upon landing one of these and going up into this, if you press X, you have access to a guard break. You can let it fly. Or, sorry, I meant to go top. Or you can press heavy attack on any direction and he will cancel that into an armored heavy attack that does 35 damage. Now, he also can cancel it into a light attack. Once again, choose which direction and he can cancel it into a light, and that will be armored, so it is a very strong option. His zone attack is pretty long. It won't bounce on block because it is a heavy. The first strike's pretty quick, and you can cancel it afterward. Note the second one is very easy to parry, so you basically always want to feint. It's basically just a fast heavy attack is what you're going for here. He also has dash forward into grab, which is pretty useful. So when you go into your unblockable, my bad, and you go for the guard, my bad, and you go for the guard break, right? So what you can do is feint if you think, and then you can do the dash forward and grab if you think they're going to try to move. This kind of gives them a different timing gap, giving you a little bit easier of a time if someone's constantly predicting your guard break. And that also means if they're constantly trying to stop your guard break, in addition to being able to cancel those into whatever you want, or just letting the heavy fly, you can also cancel the top heavy and then go for, a quick light. Most of the time you want to be a little careful with that. It could get parried. but, you know, he is the Sword Saint. Obviously, Kensei with his sword has some pretty good reach. On heavy attack startup, you, by pressing your guard break button, can do a palm, can do a strike, sorry. It's only on a top heavy that you can do this. It'll guarantee you a light attack. In addition to being able to do that, on his second heavy, he can cancel it into a guard break. He can also, on the second heavy, cancel just like normal, where he can do the side light, but this one will not have armor. Or he could also cancel into a side heavy. Once again, this will not have armor. But on any second heavy attack, and that includes if you hit someone with a light. So because he has the chain starter, I can't remember where this guy's spawns area is, you can go straight into that. If you land a light attack, you go into that, and then you can, you know, cancel as you deem fit. So, with all those being said, he has quite a few really good mix-ups, of course. Now, as we move to the wall over here, any of Kensei's throws will stun the opponent, putting them in a state where they can't see your next attack. If you land someone on the wall, it gives you your unblockable. Which is quite strong, as you have come to realize. You don't want to be throwing out these side heavies all the time. Even though they are a heavy attack, you do still want to be kind of cautious with them. As being parried, obviously, you'll get hit by 2 hits. The only other thing we have left to mention is when he's dodging, his guard goes into that position. Meaning you can try to use this. Sometimes it's a little difficult and you'll still get punished. I would guess I'm a little too big, huh? But you can try to do that and use it as a deflect-ish. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes I've had an issue where they actually end up being able just to counter it. But this is one of the strongest ways to use his dodge. So if you're going to dodge, try to get it in the same-ish frame. And you can even use it as a kind of a hit confirm, is if you hear the cling on it, then you press the heavy. And now I hit heavy. So long as you hear it, you hit heavy. Either way, his side heavy attack is pretty good. You can get quite a few things going with it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot. He's got very, very good mix-up potential, as I have been showing. But he's a pretty straightforward, fun-to-use character. And I think he did receive one of, personally, my favorite updates. He does a ton of damage, 40 on his top heavy, which is pretty good. Sometimes if you outrange your opponent when they try to go for something, you can hit them with the top heavy. And as I've pointed out, on the top heavy, even the first one, even your first one, it can actually be canceled into the side light and side heavy. Giving for a, you know, am I going to do this? Am I going to do a side? Am I going to cancel it into another side? And the other fun thing here is when you go for your side one, you can still feint that. You can really play some mind games with them. Kensei is all about the mind games. And to be quite honest, he's very, very good at the mind games. So that will cover it for Kensei and a starter guide to learning how to do some Kensei fun stuff. Don't forget that you can cancel a lot of your heavy attacks. And if you ever need a refresher, it's right here. Dodge attacks, you have the superior block. Guard breaks here, and top heavy finishers can be canceled. And second heavy and your top heavy cancels. They're all right here. that'll do it for Kensei. He's a pretty straightforward, fun-to-use character. He's a very, very strong character in my opinion. I like the way he has something for everything if you know what you're doing. But other than that, everybody, thank you all for watching as always. I will see you guys in the next one. We are finally on the samurais. I know it took a little bit, but we are finally on the samurais, and we're going to have some fun. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.